The U.S. federal government is still weighing on whether or not they should take away the Walt Disney Company's broadcast licenses and destroy their ABC empire. Today we'll explain why the temperature is going even higher between Brendan Carr at the FCC and Disney, and how, well, it just so happens, yeah, we're involved too. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another video of excellence coming to you from the Pro Channel, where it's all we know how to do. Excellence every single day and in every single way. We understand the Holly Weirds in ways they can't even understand themselves. As we dive in, click the like button and the latest news on the FCC, Disney possibly losing their licenses right now. The Walt Disney Company is yet again facing the fire of the federal government. Donald Trump, the President Trump's FCC chairman, Brendan Carr, on the Disney dispute covered by CNBC, says we have not yet made a final decision. Now, why does this matter? Because the Disney company is facing the ire of the feds over their broadcast license. And it comes down to things like The View and ABC News and whether or not they're being fair according to the guidelines set forth by the U.S. government. We've had discussions about this sort of thing with infamous, or should he be famous around the world, probably both at the same time, Ron Coleman, and he's given his thoughts on it, but this continues on, so we'll play the clip from CNBC starring FCC Chair Brendan Carr. Here's what he had to say about the Diz.
The story that you've been at the center of, Chair Carr, has been around Disney. You recently took the step of calling 8 ABC TV station licenses in for early review. Why'd you do that?
Yeah, this goes back to a DEI investigation. So when I started as chair of the...
Whoa, wait a minute. Marv, this goes back to a DEI investigation. Marv, who was cited in the DEI investigation as the authority? That's right.
It'd be me.
All right, Marv, what did you do? What did you do, Marv?
So I did a deep dive article on Disney's DEI practices as it pertained to executive compensation bonuses. And the FCC, I guess, thought it was well-sourced enough, Paul Tassi, to use it as part of their evidence against the Disney company. So, yeah, we did kind of get this ball rolling.
But I just want everybody to know, when we pause, Brendan Carr is talking about Marvin. I mean, and we're not making this up. I mean, legitimately, literally, in the FCC, the originating investigation into Disney, thatparkplace.com, Marvin's article is cited. So take that, legacies. Continuing.
FCC. One of the first things we did in the first week was we ended the FCC's own promotion of DEI. I think people will be shocked to learn that the FCC was spending millions and millions of dollars promoting DEI. We had equity action plans, the whole nine. And we've been working to make sure that the companies we regulate don't engage in invidious forms of DEI discrimination, meaning discriminating against people based on their race and gender. You know, we went through a period of time around 2020 where a lot of corporate America went all in on this invidious form of discrimination. We'll see if Disney was one of them. But we've had multiple rounds of subpoenas with Disney. They're producing documents, and Disney will have every opportunity to make its case. But there has been evidence coming to light that aligns with a legal memo DOJ put out last year for private companies, that you can't hire and promote based on race and gender. You can't compensate based on race and gender, and you can't provide workplace opportunities based on race and gender. And there's been evidence coming to the light indicating that Disney may have done that. Again, Disney can put in additional information. We haven't made a final decision, but this is an investigation where we will follow it wherever the facts take us.
All right, hold there. Marv, do you have the original article for us?
I am just double checking to see if it's the right one.
So what's interesting about this is when we had Ron Coleman on recently to go through the legal aspect and whether this is constitutional and is the government overstepping, we had heard that this had changed, this had morphed, and that the FCC was investigating the fair and equal time for both sides of the political aisle on their news programs. Now the FCC has gone back to what they cited for us, which frankly is better for us. I appreciate that. But we talked about this before. We didn't know how the FCC could enforce this because it doesn't seem to be under the purview of the FCC. But here we go again. And how interesting is this? Wiz, the reason this is so fascinating is because, as far as I can tell, I'm just a guy, right? I'm just a guy with a fake baseball cap on his head. You're just a fake wizard with a fake beard on your face. Wiz, it looks to me like Disney is caught red-handed. I don't see how they get out of this. I mean, they promoted this stuff. They talked about it. They gave Bob Iger raises. based on quotas that seem illegal to me, but maybe I'm just wrong. What do you say, Wiz?
And I don't want to use the phrase black-pilled, but Disney's been caught up in this stuff before, and I just don't see anything happening from it, though I want to. You know, it's like, how many times do we have to keep getting into this trouble? And and we've been talking about it for a long time. And look, even the article here is from over a year ago. There's constantly investigations into Disney. We're constantly covering Disney. We're constantly covering and talking about the bad things that Disney does as a company. And, the government has investigated some of these things. And yet somehow they're always able to skirt around it. And that's just my positioning here. I think nothing's going to happen. And I certainly don't trust this administration to do anything about it.
All right.
So this was the article that was cited in the FCC filing, where we talk about the fact that they had removed their Reimagine Tomorrow and Stories Matter websites, but they redirected to belonging initiatives in these DEI changes. I also have in the back our initial report on the SEC filing, where diversity was listed as a skill, which was if you scroll down in this article, you can see it because I do have a screenshot of that SEC filing in this article that you have.
Okay, let's go down to the SEC filing.
Yeah, right there. Back up.
Okay, that's not it.
Up, right there.
This is it.
Yep.
Oh, that's the picture. That's the picture of the quota system.
Yes, that's where diversity is listed as a skill. What did you want the actual? That's not what you were looking for.
No, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, because diversity is listed down as a skill and experience.
This is a chart from Disney's SEC filing that we pulled out and put out, and apparently got the attention of the FCC. Now, I think it's interesting that Wiz, you're just a bit of a curmudgeon tonight. I mean, you just don't think anything's going to happen to the House of Mouse, and you're Asian, and you've done the math on this, and none of us can compete with you when it comes to math for obvious reasons. But we're hopeful,
Wiz.
Wiz.
We're making jokes. I can't agree with that either.
We're hopeful, Wiz. Listen, look at us. Look, there's a smile behind my coffee cup. We're so excited that something might be moving, and we don't want Disney to go down. We just want a little comeuppance on the mouse.
I mean, I would love that. I would love to see it. But I don't trust it's gonna happen. I just don't.
All right. Who here has hope? Let's find out. Let's see. Who has hope on this and who has no hope, panel?
I have none.
I mean, I really don't have any hope that anyone ever is going to face any kind of consequences for their actions. I think it's cool that
we're off the rails now. What is this?
Here, man? Why?
What is happening?
You're so shocked. You were the one that was making the Beardo Brett Cooper memes in real time Saturday night.
I would never. I also wouldn't have it prepped on the fly. No. All right. I would.
All right. Will Disney, at least as a result of this, will they at least be made as uncomfortable as Beardo when Brett Cooper said get out of my seat and do it now?
I don't think anyone's ever been that uncomfortable.
What's bad is he had his legs crossed in a very, unmasculine way, and it took him time to uncross them when she said, "Get out of my seat, sir."
Well, he was in California. So.
No, but
Beardo,
I mean,
man.
like, I think at the end of the day, I don't know. With what happened with the files and Pam Bondi and all that stuff, I have no faith in this administration to actually hold anyone accountable. I think it's a lot of chest banging.
Pam's gone. Pam's gone. See,
yeah, and yet still nobody is in handcuffs.
I'm the only little happy camper down here. I'm not happy either. Okay, Fauci and all that. But Andy, here's the deal. Disney is so obviously outside the lines, in my opinion, because they were paying their C-suite more money based on who they hired, not in terms of merit, but in terms of what they like to do in the bedroom, or who their parents were, or what might or might not be between their legs, and if you imagined it was anyway. So, Andy, there's no way that's legal that Bob Iger gets paid more money based on who gets hired in those ways.
Not to rain on Wiz's parade here, but
please do. Look, he needs it.
Confucius say, "Mouse with enough money can make anything happen."
I hate it here. I hate it here, man.
I think they're trying to drag their feet long enough in hopes that somebody right-leaning aligned doesn't get reelected or doesn't get elected again. so that they can try and have somebody else make this go away. You're getting into such a gray area here. Like, it's been found to be unconstitutional, all this stuff. Will anybody be held accountable? If somebody ever gets in trouble for this, it's going to be some low level peon who was like, oh, look, this person implemented this, and that's why it happened. And Bob Iger, all these people, I think we've seen this over and over again. Certain people are untouchable, and it has nothing to do with any other color other than green, how much you have and how well connected you are. So,
boy, that's okay. That last part is very, very true. Of all the colors that Disney was interested in hiring, green ultimately was what mattered. What matters? Steph, Lauren, your thoughts on this situation where, at the very least, it's keeping the legal department busy for Disney.
It is, but their legal department is very good. And I think that while this does put pressure on Disney, Disney obviously took advantage of DEI, whatever, all that stuff in order to line their pockets. But it is putting pressure on them. I don't see anything happening other than maybe they possibly pay a fine. I don't know. Their lawyers are very good at keeping Disney out of controversy and out of trouble. I'm just surprised that Marv got this close to taking down Disney than any of us
You never knew that?
ever did. I did not know that. This is brand new to me.
He just keeps going and going and going.
Yeah, they don't like me very much.
Marv, they probably know you now when you go through the gates. I just want you to understand that.
I mean, I hope they don't, but they probably do.
They might. Lauren, I'm going to give you the final word on this one. You've heard the arguments. You've heard, Wiz says no way. Andy says maybe. I say, hey, I think Disney wants to take a bite out of them. Lauren, you get to weigh in, umpire this thing, ball or strike.
Is Wiz Asian?
I think I'd have to probably side with Ron, who ultimately thinks that they're putting pressure on him, but likely nothing is going to happen. And I think a lot of that is because Steph is also right. Disney has excellent lawyers who are very good at what they do.
Tell that to the state of Florida.
Well, that was their arrogance and hubris that bit them there. I think in this case, as much as I don't think this is the way that it should be, I think that Ron is ultimately correct in the sense that FCC regulation of the public airwaves was originally because that broadcast spectrum was scarce because everybody used it. That's no longer the case. And while I would prefer that you relax those standards by legally stating that we're going to relax them, the practical reality of the fact is that it's not really a contested resource the way that it once was, and so it's more difficult for the FCC to be heavy-handed. And the final thing that I'd like to offer is that I think, personally, Wiz is definitely Asian.
It was you. It was you. You're the one behind this. I know. You want more. You want more of the Pro Channel, folks, but we've got to head out the door for this video. But fret not yet, for more content is yet on the way. 3 times a day, thrice as nice, right here on the Pro Channel. Oh, what's that you say? You want more than that? Fine, we'll do 4. 4 videos. Well, yeah, that's happening. Folks, as you get ready to go, consider clicking the like button for us. It is a huge help. Also, like, share, subscribe, and click it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. We would also love it if you could drop on down and give us a comment. We love hearing from you, and although we can't respond to every single comment, we often are reading them indeed. Folks, we would encourage you to consider subscribing to our partner channels, that Park Place, that Game Place, and that Pod Place. We love them all. We think you might too. Until the next time we have the joy of joining with you, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.